What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and today I thought I'd give you guys my initial thoughts on the new uniforms for Scarlet and Vision, as well as the reworks for Maker and Thing. And since this is just, in my initial thoughts, I've only got to play with these characters just a very, very short time. Some of them, I'm uncertain about how I really feel about them, so my opinion is subject to change. But as far as Ben Grimm, he's still going to be just mainly a support. It is nice that they gave him the all defense down that applies to World Boss on his Awakened skill, but against Null and Mephisto, that all defense down won't apply. So really, his passive is still the main reason that you would awaken this character. It's the main reason that you'd have this uniform, I think, for most players. But for players that are trying to get it done in regular World Boss, the fact that he does have an all defense down that applies to World Boss is actually really great. That's pretty awesome, actually. It's going to make him a lot better against the regular World Bosses. Unfortunately, I don't have him awakened, so I really don't know what kind of difference it would make, but I would think it would make a pretty big difference. And then we have these three characters. Now, we'll start with the Maker. So the Maker, they did a lot for him. I got to tell you guys, I'm so happy with what they did for him. They gave him the 35% increase of all attack on his third skill. They buffed up the 25% all attack on the fourth skill to 40% all attack. They gave him a 50% damage proc on the fifth skill, and I can tell you all that he is insanely stronger than what he was before. Originally, when we got the Maker uniform and I tested it against the Future Foundation uniform, the damage was virtually the same. Actually, I was almost getting more damage out of the Future Foundation uniform. However, from the testing that I've done so far, the Maker's uniform is actually being able to clear the first phase of Null 30 to 45 seconds faster. Just the first phase. That is a big difference. At first, it wasn't really, it was almost the same, and then I changed my rotation around, and man, did I see a huge improvement. 45 seconds faster than the Future Foundation uniform. That's insane, my friends. I'm so happy with the rework for the Maker. They did such a great job. Thank you, Netmarble, for that. And really thank you for the all defense down that applies to World Boss for Ben as well. Now let's talk about Vision. So Vision, they gave him this nice, 30% increase of all attack on his uniform, whereas his previous uniform had 20%. So he's getting an extra 10% on his uniform effect. They also gave him the damage accumulation that is based on how much damage you deal. So you can just cancel the skill. You don't have to worry about taking damage, which is nice. Then you get the 100% chance for immunity for 1 second, which is wacky. But you do have the all defense down that does apply to World Boss. And this is different from his other uniforms. And because of the damage accumulation that's based on how much damage you deal, because the all defense down applies to World Boss, and he just does a lot of hits. Plus he's got the 40% increase of all attack and a heal on his fifth skill. This uniform really is a must buy. I've already tested it and placed this normal ranked uniform against the mythic version of his previous uniform, if this thing would ever load, and the normal ranked, this uniform was still doing more damage than this uniform at mythic, which is pretty insane, guys. Like I said in the last video, I feel like Vision's probably going to be the dark horse. Freaking insane. He still plays super well with a proc. In fact, let's take a look at his skills, because these things are beautiful. Now I'm going to turn the SFX on. These are beautiful. Look at this. You see Wanda come in? Look at that. Look at that. So did you see how Wanda comes in and then they hold hands? Watch. Look at that. He brings in, he holds out his hand. She comes in holding his hand, and then they shoot a ray together. That is so cool. And then the fourth skill. Look at that. Dope skill with the paralysis. Nice. And that paralysis does work in World Boss. Cool, nice life frame, good survivability skill. Partial life frame. And then the third skill. And you can cancel the skill immediately. You get the damage accumulation immediately. If you cancel too early, you won't get the all defense down. But wow, let's look at the tier 3. This is a gorgeous skill. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Woof. Well, let's test something here. This is something I haven't tested yet. I'm going to go ahead and run through all these animations. These animations are so beautiful. And just wait till we get to Wanda's animations. Oh my God. Okay, so let's see if we can cancel this thing. Wow, it looks like you can. I'm going to have to toy with it a little bit longer. Unfortunately, I don't have them at tier 3. Oh, wow. Oh, no, you can't cancel too early. No, 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 no. Gonna have to tinker with it, but man, the animations are beautiful. I love that Scarlet comes in like that and shoots the raid together. That's pretty damn cool. Wow. So Vision, he really is much stronger than what he was before. Very happy with his reworks. They did a really great job on him. And I love that they kept the globe as well. That's pretty awesome. Now we get into Scarlet. And aesthetically, Lord have mercy. Let me enlarge that a little bit. Lord have mercy. Look at her. Oh, she looks so good, right? So beautiful. So a couple of things they did for Scarlet's new uniform is they gave her this damage accumulation based on how much damage you deal. And I would like to see more than 0.4%, but it is better than what she had before, which was no accumulation at all. They also changed her mind control. Now her mind control, normally it would say it lasts for 5 seconds, but it actually lasted for 10 seconds. Now it actually only lasts for the 2 seconds. So you don't have that insane CC against the regular normal world bosses, but against Null and Mephisto, which is where you really want to know whether or not she's going to be good, the mind control wouldn't work anyway. So it's not really a big deal in all honesty, except for the people that really like that CC and the regular world bosses. And it also doesn't have all defense down on the 4th skill. Her 3rd skill still has all defense down on it, right? It starts off at 1% and goes up to 50%. And then, of course, you got all the mine resistances down. But the 4th skill doesn't. And in her last uniform, all new, all different uniform, the 4th skill actually does have an all defense down that starts off at 8% and goes up to 50%. But this long cooldown on this 5th skill is kind of a bum deal. 13.5 seconds is a long time. You do get the 7 seconds of invincibility, which is pretty freaking cool. And if you preview her skills, man, these things are so beautiful. Look at this 5th skill. And this has that 7 seconds of invincibility. Check this out. Now that's pretty damn cool, but she didn't do that with white vision, but it's still really, really awesome to see that. And you see Scarlet, you know, black and white, which is pretty dope. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Like, you know, saying goodbye with the last feel of her hand. I really like that. That's awesome. And then the 4th skill goes into an iframe. And, you know, and now we have that 2 seconds of mind control, whereas we used to always have 10 seconds. So if you watch carefully, there's the mind control. It does take a little bit for the mind control to apply. Here's the damage accumulation skill. And these animations are so gorgeous, right? And then you got the 3rd skill, which is the same as it's always been. You can move it around, which is something I've always loved about Scarlet Witch's skills. So in the rotation, at least what I've seen so far, is you really want to hit the 2nd skill for your damage accumulation. You get that immediately, and then you want to go into the 4, the 5, and then the 3. You're trying to get the residual damage from the 4, you're trying to get the residual damage from the 5, and the invincibility from the 5 before you do the 3, so you don't get guard broken. Having that super armor from the invincibility from the 5th skill will help you with that. However, in the next rotation, because you have such a long cooldown on the 5th skill, you just want to hit the damage accumulation, the 4, and then the 3, or the 4, then the damage accumulation, and then the 3. You can do it either way. And her tier 3 is exactly the same as it's always been. Still really cool. I'm going to go ahead and turn the SFX off. And I believe you still see the 5th skill. I think it still shows up. Yeah. Whether the SFX on or off, you still see this. I don't like that. I really prefer it to where whenever as beautiful as the animation is, I absolutely love it. I really prefer it when they don't do that, because you don't see what's really going on in the screen during those cinematic views. And that's something I don't really care for. I think that kind of blows, to be perfectly honest. And then her passive does give her this increase of all attack by 20%, which is pretty massive. Now, I do have a proc on Old Girl, right? And both of these uniforms are at normal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys the difference in the damage between these two uniforms. stage 80, right? And Vision's going to give us that 50% all attack. Really, we just want to see the damage comparison here. No strikers. Now, the trick is hoping that the proc doesn't land early. So we're going to do 2 rotations with both of these uniforms. Here we go. Hopefully the proc doesn't trigger early. Okay, 2, 4, 5, 3. All right, good proc right there, good proc. So now we're going to wait for the 2 to get off cooldown so we get our damage accumulation again. 2, 4, 3. And you want to back away to try not to get guard broken. So you can see how much damage we did. We got down to the middle of the 15th bar with this uniform. Now let's see what we do with the other uniform. And this is just a quick glimpse at the difference in damage between these 2 characters, or 2 uniforms. So you guys have an idea of whether or not it's going to be worth it to pull for it. And again, this is just against regular world boss. So we're just going to try to hit the 5, the 4, and then go into the 3. We'll try to get that all defense down from the 4 and then go into the 3. If you can do that and land the proc, you'll do some pretty good damage with this uniform. So here we go. 5, 4, 3. And boom. And look at the damage there, guys, okay? I'm going to do 5, 4, 3. So you can see right now that this uniform is doing almost as much damage as the other uniform. Even with the accumulation, the other uniform is doing more. But the thing to remember is we're getting actually more all defense down from this uniform, right? The all defense down in the other uniform, in her newest one, only starts off at 1%. And that does make a big difference, whereas this uniform's, the 4th skill, actually starts off at 8%. You don't have to do as many hits to build up your all defense down to the maximum potential. So I'm still reserved on what I think about Scarlet because of this. I just don't know how good she's going to be. Until I get her at tier 3 and actually test her against Null and Mephisto, I really don't know. Maker, absolutely insane rework. Vision, I think it's going to be a must buy in all honesty. He actually did get a pretty good rework. And again, Scarlet, I'm going to have to test her a little bit more. Let's equip the beauty here. I'm going to have to test her some more to really have a better verdict of what I think about the character. Because you just never know. You know, maybe I need to play her differently. Maybe I need to change my rotation around. Maybe I need to wait for certain skills to apply a little bit longer. I mean, there's all kinds of little tricks and tips sometimes that really can make a character be much stronger than what they are. But so far, I'm not really that impressed with Scarlet. So let me know in the comments how you're all feeling about the 2 new uniforms and the reworks for Maker and Ben Grimm. And as soon as I get enough blast books, I will be tier 3 in Scarlet next. I only need 4 more. And I stream on Twitch at Reset from Sunday through Thursday. The link will be in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.